Hello, I'm Dudley Thompson and welcome again to WDT Media TV. We're here at the stadium for the Jamaicans encounter against the Soca Warriors.
Hi, I'm Solange Bryan and you're watching WDT Media TV.
You see the fans here making their way inside the stadium for the second encounter between Jamaica and the Soca Warriors. Many Jamaican football supporters making their way inside the stadium. It's Jamaica against the Soca Warriors at the office. Jamaican flags on sale on the Google Zellas. Here, one vendor here. We still see the Jamaican flag with the round color with the green, black, and yellow. Again, it should be green, black, and gold. As you can see there, Jamaican flag with the wrong shade. As fans pour inside the National Stadium. These fans there head into the bleachers area of the stadium.
This is the 62nd meeting between both teams. It's a contest that started way back in January 2nd, 1935 here in Jamaica, with Trinidad winning that international game and that initial match by 1-0. Jamaica's first win over the Trinidad team came 1 week later on January 9th, where they won 2-1 also here in Jamaica. However, Trinidad and Tobago won the then 3-game series 2-1 after outscoring Jamaica 3-2 on January 28th. So, way back in 1935, the contest between Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago began. 62 games will mark tonight's encounter. Well, the first 6-1 game, the teams saw Trinidad and Tobago winning 26, the Reggae Boyz 25. 10 draw games so far. The last victory for the Soca Warriors was on Saturday at the Cachinol Stadium in Montego Bay. It was their second straight win on Jamaican soil. 1-0 on Saturday. Ryan Moore got the winner for the Soca Warriors in the 67th minute down there in Cachinol. The Reggae Boyz, well, their last win against the Soca Warriors was on August 24th, 2017. That was in Trinidad and Tobago. So tonight, the Reggae Boyz will be looking to even the score at 26 apiece. So we're expecting a fairly good, high-tempered game as it's Saturday. Entertainment and sport. The Honorable Olivia Grange. She's followed by the first Vice President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Mr. Raymond Anderson. And of course, the third person in that greeting party, Mr. Kittery, Vice President of the Jamaica Football Federation.
You see there. Free kick for Trinidad. Indirect free kick. Inside the box. Infringement there. 2 players on the ground. Both Jamaica and Trinidad. The 2 players are down. Jamaican corner kick. The attack. In possession by Trinidad and Tobago.
Here comes goalkeeper Jamali Wade, number 13. He's being replaced by number 1, Kamal Foster. Substitution completed in the 57th minute.
Passes together. One comes across. Into touch now.
Anderson, he will be replaced by number 11, Jordan Fletcher. Also coming out for Jamaica, number 7, Lamar Walker. He's being replaced by number 4, Tyler Roberts. Substitutions in the 67th minute.
start. Powerful start in the beginning. Had an opportunity, a player through, stepped on the ball, got a clear chance to score. Another spin-off behind, so we had some good chances in the first half. Positive. As the half went on, I think we mixed it too little. There was too many long balls. Should have mixed it with playing on the ground more, but if we take this game and compare it to the first game, it's a big step forward. Many improvements, but the priority in this match or these matches was to see a lot of players we haven't seen before play for Jamaica, and we did. Everybody got minutes. Some of them really did well with their minutes. Some we need to wait for maybe a little bit longer. So I'm happy with having these games. Of course, we didn't score in neither games. They scored one, and that is what counts in football. But overall, I think big improvement. I think the players have taken in a lot of things that they showed today. Big improvements from last match in Montego Bay.
So, Coach, you said you were looking at some young players to see who can make the grade going forward. Who are you impressed with after the 2 nights?
I don't want to count numbers here. It's about the team. It's about the team. We play more as a unit, more as a team. But I'm not going to count players here in the media. Of course, we analyze the games. Both the games much better than we have done in the first game. So, but I'm not going to pick players. Some players really had a good performance today. You probably know as well as me.
Coach, are you concerned the fact that we couldn't sustain high pressure in dangerous areas, knowing that we're playing against a team that's playing such a low block?
No, because Trinidad has similar strength as Jamaica, so they have really dangerous putting balls behind and running behind us. So they are really good in the air. So when we were pressing, a long ball could always hurt us. So of course you have to mix it. You cannot be high pressing all the time. It's impossible for 90 minutes against a good opponent.
Coach, you talk about the long balls from the back to the front earlier. Is it that you're lacking creativity in the middle of the park, hence the balls going from back to front?
Probably it's more stress than quality. You know, some players are playing their first national team matches now in the international stadium. The stadium they have been wanting all their lives to play in front of a crowd. So no, I think it's more stress than lack of quality.
Coach, over the two games, both in Montego Bay and Kingston, what were the most things that you were most pleased with? In terms of, did you see a better performance from Montego from tonight as the Saturday?
Yeah, I think we were more working as one team today, both when attacking and defending. I think we had really good moments where we should have done better with the last pass, with the cross, so we created a lot more good openings today. We should have probably needed the third match against Trinidad to score a goal, but with this improvement, for sure, these players would have done better in the next game. So that pleases me. And also, to give someone the first national team game and they perform, pleases me a lot, because we are looking for players for the Gold Cup, for the Mexico match, to see if someone here will stake a claim in these squads.
So have you seen anyone that can you say anybody who has taken a claim?
Yeah, I think so. Did you see so?
Coach Hallgrimsson, the system that it seems that you've been deploying for the past 3 games you've been charging, the 4-4-2 system, is that a system you're comfortable with? Is that a system that you're going to continue to play? Or do you plan to make adjustments as time goes on?
No, I don't favor any system. It's often good when you come first time to a 4-4-2. It's easy to explain and then you work from that system, but I don't favor any system.
Is it likely that we might see an alteration come next week in the Azteca?
Could be. We are facing a good opponent, so could for sure change the system.
Coach, how do you integrate the overseas based players with the local based players heading into Canada Nations League matches now?
In this group,
Yeah.
with fairly young players coming from England, so young players, so it's more or less for us to show their quality and what they can give not only on these 90-minute matches but also off the pitch, their character and such. I was happy with all the squad. It was really, the camp in itself was really good. So they know now our working environment, and then they know what to expect next time they come, and us know what they can give in return. So fairly happy with this squad, with this camp. Sorry.
Coach, you mentioned players who would have staked their claim in the team. I don't expect you to give me the names, but is there any player or players who you would say that's it?
Now, for us, it's not that it. He needs a little bit more time, maybe. So if it's a young player, we'll call him back in a year or see his progress or monitor his progress. But there's no one that is punched out for sure, and we are just arriving. So we are not in that position to say something like that.
And what would be your advice to these players now?
Can I ask a question? I've talked so much.
What would be your advice to these players now as we move forward?
Now we keep on. Now they know. The good thing for them now that they know what we want. They know exactly what we want. So they can now work on the things, improve on the things that we want.
Pops, I noticed that throughout the game there are some issues with connecting passes, and it seems that there needs to be some influence in terms of communication. What do you say about the players who are new in the team, just trying to get to know each other? Where are they, and how much more time they need to be understand so they can have this?
Because when we drop back, the spaces were there again, so they had the freedom to choose, to switch, no problem for us, but they knew after the first game what mistakes we did in the build-up, and you could see today we used it a lot better, the flanks, we used it a lot better today than in the last game. There was not like deep thinking behind it, just using the flanks.
What did you customers coach?
Two more questions and then I'll ask him one.
Alright, excuse my lack of patience, I'm an anxious fan, right? And there were the likes of Atkinson, Dexter, what I pronounced his last name, Hutchinson, Richards, Roberts, all teenagers, all managing to get minutes this tour versus Trinidad. How many of these kids will we be seeing against Mexico going forward, if you can divulge that information right now? Just curious and anxious.
So you want the squad for Mexico?
I
think it's here. Now, of course, we will not talk about that. If I will do that, after analyzing all the matches, and for sure, the press conference for when we announce the squad, you will know. You can do 3 for maps. He is already almost unused.
All right, so thanks for joining us now. Hold on and we'll go to the Trinidad and Portugal.
Are we good?
Finish, yeah.
Are you going to leave maps?
Game by game at the moment, I'll be honest with you. You can't play forever, so but I'm feeling good still. I feel like my performances are still there for the team as well. And I still feel like I can add to the group. So if any of that changes, then obviously things will change. So. But yeah, we just take it game by game, camp by camp.
Perhaps a decade ago you were the young lad, but now you're the senior one in the group. What's it been like being these younger kids around you?
Yeah, I think the group's changed quite quickly as well. So I've been one of the older ones, so for a long time now as well. But yeah, look, everyone gets on well. I had really good older senior pros when I came into the team, the likes of Ricardo Fuller, your Marlon Kings, Claude Davis, Damien Stewart, all these guys were, really great for me. So I just try and, do, the same for these guys, for what, they've done for me as well. So yes,
you've answered every call. You still enjoy playing with Jamaica?
You see out there, I love it. There's no better feeling, there's no better feeling. It's the highest honour in football, and obviously I would love to just, be a part of, whether that's on the pitch or off the pitch, be a part of actually getting us to the World Cup.
What's your impression on the coach? What's your impression on the coach?
Come on.
We were
We put on a good professional performance from a defensive standpoint until we made the changes. And in midfield, some of the guys who played the first game, we really saw that the composure came into the team. We started to pass the ball and we started to create some chances, and of course the Jamaican team some problems. But other than that, we felt that we played a European type team today. They were hitting a lot of long balls into the strikers. They were trying to play the balls on the flanks. And we stood up well to that sort of European tactic. So all in all, I thought it was a good exercise for us. On aggregate, we won the series 1-0.
First question for Coach, by show of hands.
Yeah, Coach, we know Trinidad and Tobago have been without football for some time. You've been very vocal about, getting the matches and whatnot. What would be your biggest takeaway from these friendlies?
But that, Jamaica League is going on. There are about 7 or 8 foreign-based players who actually in season and came here. The team is in season. And we stood up to them in 2 matches. So it showed that the staff did a fantastic job of preparing these players without any real match practice back home.
Yeah, and any player, I know you probably don't want to single out the player, but it's very important to just know which player, you would have seen massive improvement from when you got the player to what you saw here against a top team like Jamaica.
The whole 24 of them, they were brilliant because we changed the whole squad from the first match except for 3 players because we didn't have redundancy in the defensive position. So we played the same guys at the back, and they were excellent for 2 games, and they kept a clean sheet on both occasions. And our counter-attacking game that we wanted to play because we know that our guys, they're not fully match fit. So we had to be smart in the way that we wanted to play the match today. And we played how we wanted to play. We played the counter-attack, and you saw we could have finished off the game down the end.
Next question, Coach.
Why Joven didn't start there as a
Yeah, we brought 24 players. We wanted all 24 players to play, because all 24 players are vying for a position. So we started a different midfield today, a different front 3, and the left back was different, and the goalkeeper was also different. Only 3 of these defenders who played in the first game and started and played the whole game played tonight. So we were really happy that Joven is also just coming back into full match fitness. So, like all the other players, so he's unattached at this point in time. So we didn't want to risk him and play him for the whole time to gradually bring him back.
These 2 matches were very positive for you going forward. What are you expecting? You have a better perspective going into this.
Most definitely, and these guys made my job a little bit more difficult by the way they played over the 2 matches against a very competent, strong, the international coach behind them. And it augurs well for Trinidad football, where the kind of expertise that we played against tonight, knowing that we could stand up to that and hold our own from a tactical standpoint and also from a match playing standpoint.
And what about Kaile? What was your takeaway from the match?
I felt that it was a very good experience for the team to be able to play against the strong Jamaican side twice and show that we have the resilience to be able to get a win. And then the second game, even though we suffered a little bit more, we were able to show that we're a strong side also and to come out on top out of the 2 games.
Kaile, we saw you when you were playing in France in the academy, playing in the States, playing in the Caribbean now. Your thoughts, style of play amongst the Caribbean teams?
I had already played in the Caribbean because I spent 2 years in Guadeloupe. So I was familiar with the playing style, although obviously there's lots of intensity, very physical, so it's to adapt it as fast as possible.
And Coach, for you, the new format for World Cup qualifying, your thoughts about it and what it could mean for the Caribbean by extension?
It's I'll say it this way, I'll answer the question this way. Everywhere in the world, everybody gets to play everybody. Everywhere in the world, there's no teams that are seeded and placed in a hex, and everybody has had to fight to meet those teams there. Everywhere in the world. If you go in Europe, England has to go to Malta. England has to go to San Marino. Italy has to do the same. But probably Alvin Jones changed that a couple of years ago.
Further questions for Coach Kaile?
Coach, you said in training that these 2 games will tell you a lot about your project, especially going forward, not just for the Gold Cup, about the path to World Cup qualifying. After these 2 games, do you feel more optimistic now about Trinidad's future under your guidance and your project than you did before the series started?
Of course, because obviously, you know, we did the work with the guys, but the guys weren't playing matches. And we had to replicate match intensity in training. So for them to come and put on 2 performances back to back like this is a massive plus, not just for me, but also for football in Trinidad and all the other coaches who are doing good work in Trinidad, because, you know, we in the Caribbean have a mentality that local people can't do the job. So for me to stand up here and do the job and match up myself against international coaches augurs well for all coaches in Trinidad and also the Caribbean coaches.
What made the difference in terms of your defensive solidity? Because for 2 games, even though the chances were coming for Jamaica, you were able to hold on to your defensive.
Well, we understood what Jamaica was trying to do. They were trying to get on the flanks. They were trying to get balls in. We had 2 solid defenders who could win the ball in the air. They're good on the floor, so they're good passing the ball. And then we put a screen in Enzo Riley, who is about 6 feet also. So we put a screen in front of them, because we played Jamaica in the first game and we saw what they were doing, and it even was more prevalent in this match, where they were actually trying to hit those diagonal balls and hit the balls into the strikers as much as possible. So when we look back at the tapes, you know, we readjusted our shape a bit. We played with the 2 with the 1 in the first match, and then we played with the 1 holding who could mark the 2 of the Jamaicans. Sometimes they got the through ball because it was a little bit slow on recovery. But all in all, I thought the guys did well in coping with the strategy of the job.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.